The grocery store was quiet that morning, except for the soft hum of the freezer aisles and the sound of a woman's trembling breath. Her name was Sergeant Maya Thompson, off-duty, dressed in jeans and a hoodie, just there to buy milk and cereal for her nephew. But what started as a normal shopping trip would soon turn into a scene she'd never forget, and neither would anyone else in that store. Maya had spent 10 years serving her country and her city, a decorated Army veteran turned police officer in a small southern town. She believed in respect, in doing right, in protecting people, no matter who they were or what they looked like. But that morning, she wasn't Sergeant Thompson. She was just another black woman shopping alone. She noticed two officers at the front, chatting with the cashier. She didn't think much of it until she felt their eyes on her. One of them whispered something. The other laughed, a sound that carried through the aisle like a bad memory. Maya kept her cool, grabbed her items, and headed toward the checkout lane. "Ma'am," one of the officers called. She turned slowly. "Yes, officer? Gonna need to check your bag," he said, resting his hand on his belt. "We've had some issues lately." She froze. "You mean shoplifting?" He smirked. "Just a quick look. You fit the description." The people in line stared. A mother pulled her child closer. Maya's throat tightened. All she could think about was how many times she'd promised her community they'd never be treated like this again. The officer stepped closer, grabbing the edge of her bag. "Don't touch me," Maya said firmly. Her voice was calm, but years of training carried in it. "Oh, now you've got an attitude?" the second cop mocked. "What? You got something to hide?" Maya inhaled slowly. She could feel her badge in her pocket, the same badge that had cost her years of sweat, scars, and pride. She didn't want to use it. She wanted them to see her without it. But they didn't. As the first officer reached again, she spoke clearly. "Officer Thompson, badge 264, Metro Police. You're harassing an off-duty officer." The entire store went silent. The man's hand froze midair. "What?" he muttered. Maya reached into her pocket, pulling out her leather badge holder and ID. The golden emblem gleamed under the harsh fluorescent light. The silence grew heavier than any shout could have been. The cashier's mouth dropped. The officer's face turned pale. We didn't know," he stammered, lowering his hand. "Ma'am, we were just doing your job?" Maya cut in, her voice trembling now, not from fear, but from heartbreak. "Or profiling someone who looks like me." Her eyes filled with tears. "You didn't see the badge because you never looked at me. You saw a target." The other officer looked down at his boots. "We're sorry, ma'am. Truly." Maya exhaled, slow, controlled. She wasn't here to humiliate anyone. She just wanted them to understand. "You know what hurts?" she whispered. "I wear the same uniform as you. I swore the same oath. But even I'm not safe from your assumptions." She placed her groceries on the counter, paid silently, and walked out. Behind her, the two officers stood frozen, surrounded by witnesses, and by their own reflection in the glass doors. That night, one of those officers, Daniel Reeves, couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the look in Maya's eyes, that mix of strength and pain. The next morning, he showed up at her precinct. Not to justify, but to apologize. In person. Maya looked at him, still hurt but open. "Change doesn't start with apologies," she said softly. "It starts with awareness." He nodded. "Then I'll start there." From that day on, Daniel volunteered for every community outreach program, pairing with Maya to train new recruits on empathy and bias. And in a town that had once been divided by silence, their story became a lesson. That understanding begins when we finally see each other. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought in war or on the streets, but within our own hearts, where change truly begins.